What's going on, everybody? So it is June 18th. It's about 2:40 in the afternoon. Got a light rain coming down. I'm in a local forest that I live by, and I decided to set some cameras up. Even though it's June, it's pretty early. I decided to set some cameras up a couple weeks ago. To be exact, it's been 16 days since I set my cameras up. I put, how many did I put out? Put 4 cameras out, and they're all in spots that I've never hunted before, nor have I ever even put cameras out before. So we're gonna check them, and just to see what's on here. You know, it's really early. I generally don't put cameras out this soon out here on public lands, but I just wanted to set some out and see what we could get. But with that said, I'm gonna take y'all along with me to check them. I didn't take you with me to put them out, so I'm gonna take you with me to check them, and let's see if we got some kind of critters in here. This spot is just super thick. It's on the edge of a huge, thousands of acres swamp. No roads, no fire breaks, just woods. There she is. Let's see what's on there. Well, the first camera had a whole lot of nothing on there. Surprisingly, 16 daggum days in a spot like this, I'd have figured had at least a doe on there, or a bear even, because there's plenty of bear sign in here, which I don't really care for because I'm not in South Georgia. I'm here in North Florida, so can't hunt bears. So I don't care about bear sign. I don't want any bear sign. Or not even any bear pictures. Hopefully, at least one of the next 3 cameras will have something good. We're getting close to the truck now, as you can probably hear vehicles driving. Dadgummit. This might be one of them spots that's going to be good during like gun season, when the Orange Army is out here pushing these deer far into the swamps, because there's just a huge swamp back here that I'm on the edge of. And personally, I've never, out of the 12 years living here, never heard of anybody hunting out in this stuff. And I know a lot of people that hunt these woods. It's just hard to get to. It's dry right now, but pretty much all the rest of the time of the year is soaking wet and can get up to knee deep. But as y'all saw last deer season, I killed that giant Georgia buck deep in a swamp that I had to roll my pant legs up to get to my stand, because I was walking through so much water. But for right now, and for archery season, I can tell you, I won't be hunting this swamp. Maybe late gun season I'll come in here though. But regardless, let's go check those other cameras. Alright, time to check spot number 2 and 3. We got 2 cameras set up down this little fire break. I got short pines here on the left. They're by short pines, I mean about 30-foot tall pines. And then we got some taller, more mature pines right in here. And this fire break leads down to a small little bay head that kind of wraps around to a very big bay head. Plenty of tracks all in here and down this fire break. First camera I'm going to check is set up on a really nice trail. I mean, it was very obvious where they were going back and forth across. But we'll see what it's got. At least maybe a doe or something. Camera number 2. Please have some deer. Well, as you've seen, that was a very nice buck on that camera. Kind of looked like he had trying to grow like a third main beam off his right side. It was funky looking, but regardless, I had that buck, I had a bear, and I had a pair of does, 3 different does that looked like 3 different ones. 2 that would stay together and 1 by herself that were coming through very regular, almost daily. So that was nice to see too. But we got one more camera to check down this fire break on this little block of woods. It's roughly about, I'd say 200 yards as the crow flies from the other camera. So I'll definitely be curious to see if this camera still has the same amount of activity as the other, because if it does, then that's just going to prove to me that they're using these mature pines to walk on the edge of these short pines, which I'm sure they're in these short pines too. But when hunting season gets here, obviously I'll be set up in the mature pines. But let's get to the camera and see what it's got first. But this fire break is loaded with deer tracks. There was a ton of deer tracks when I set these cameras, but it hadn't rained in so long. I mean, there were deer tracks that just kind of got built up over time because they weren't getting washed away, so you couldn't tell what was fresh and what was new, other than the extremely fresh tracks. But there's a pile of tracks in here, so this might end up being a very good spot to have for interest come hunting season. We almost to that other camera, so we're gonna get down here. We go from short pines and brush, mature pines with some brush, over to just thick, nasty junk. And that's what we gotta get to get to the camera. I'm telling y'all, one of the best investments you can make if you go down these big, long, no driving roads. Best investment you can make is this little thing right here. An electric bicycle. Telling you. People call it lazy. I don't care what you want to call it. It's taking you 30 minutes to get to where I'm going in 10. So that's the difference. Now with that said, we got a good little bike ride ahead of us to get this next camera. Let's get to it. Well, after a long bike ride, we're getting close. Got to the point where I can't ride the bike anymore down the trail because it's just too rugged and rough. So I'm having to walk the rest of the way. As you can see, it's pretty thick. I'm on the little fire break here, but on both sides, it's just thick. But where I got this camera at, there's fresh bear sign, and again, in Florida, so bear sign is nothing for me here. But I got a lot of deer sign down here. There's a lot of tracks. There's a nice trail that I have the camera sitting over, where they're walking out of this thick stuff going into the swamp. Speaking of bear, look what we got here. That's a bear marking. A little bit higher than my head. Well, that's fresh. That wasn't here when I came a couple weeks ago and set this camera up back in here. It's a pretty good bear. Wonder if I got him on camera. Hopefully he hasn't eaten my camera. See, here in Florida, daggum, look at this. Another marking. That's a good sized bear. He's taller than me. That's a good one. See, here in Florida, for whatever reason, people have this assumption that we don't have that many bears here in the state. We had a bear hunt several years back. I believe it was 2015. Had the first bear hunt since like 1990 or something like that. It's supposed to be a week-long bear hunt. Got shut down on the second day because all the quotas that were placed for the different zones were going over the limit. Now, common sense people understand that if you have a hunt that you expect to take a week or even half the week to get quotas filled or close to full, and they're getting filled in 2 days, some in the first day. Think about that. Does that mean we don't have that many bears? Or does that mean, hey, we might have more bears than what we think we have out here? Me personally, tells me we have a lot more than what FWC was assuming. But thanks to animal rights activists and people that don't understand true conservation and how much of a success story this would be, we have our hunt shut down, not to be opened up or brought up again. That's all I'm going to say about that. We're almost to the next camera here, and it appears that it has not been messed with by bears, so I'm glad to see that. I actually had to set it up kind of high up in the tree for that exact reason. Look here. Where are we at? There it is. There's the camera. I had to set it way up there, overlooking where it tees here at this fire break. That way the bear, because I knew there's a lot of sign in here, I didn't want a bear to come walking down this trail and chew up my camera. So I'm gonna get this camera down. We're gonna see what's on it. I don't know if you can tell, it's getting pretty windy. We got a storm rolling in. Thankfully that was the last camera to check today. So with that said, that's gonna be a wrap for this video. I know it was kind of short and sweet, but I just wanted to take y'all out on a little trip, checking cameras. And for those that are wondering, yes, I did get a new truck. Had somebody ask me that the other day, they saw it in my video. Had to wait a while, but I finally got pretty much my dream truck here. Ram 1500 5.7 Hemi. Just looks like a little beast. But anyways, that's besides the point. I'm proud of that truck. Worked really hard for that truck, and I finally got it. But anyways, we'll head on back to the house, get all this footage from today fixed up and ready to show y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Pulled all the cameras out except the one that had the picture of the buck on there and them does that were coming in regularly. So we'll leave that out here for a couple more weeks and might pick it up and move it around. But other than that, pull the cameras. I'll see y'all next time. Hope y'all enjoyed it. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Deer season's coming up. We got some awesome quotas. The quota period for first application here in Florida when they show you results was yesterday. I've got some awesome quotas. Got everything that I wanted. So one of my best pull of the seasons for quotas yet. So with that said, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can keep up with it. We've got a lot of awesome stuff planned this year, and I cannot wait to take y'all along with me and have a good time together. So with that said, I appreciate y'all, and I will see you on the next adventure.